Yeah, when you're feeling down and motivated in the midweek, we got the guys here to make your life complete. Little John, Brandon, Cody, Carly, they're coming in to keep you motivated all week. New episode, same time every week. Don't gotta wait long for the next one to release. So don't go away, sit down, take a seat, enjoy Midweek Motivation with John and Carly. Hey.
Midweek Motivation.
Let's go!
For the show that Darren has spoiled Carly, and now we know why. Carly had to run over there and get us started manually instead of the button system. So you're not getting me by myself today. That's probably a good thing.
Oh, man. They were excited. I heard the cheers, man. Oh, boy. Wow. Darren, you're not allowed to take vacation anymore.
Nope. Apparently not.
Yeah, I'm still showing red square, so at the end of the show, you're probably going to see me walk out.
And I'm just going to be sitting here like this, not knowing what to do with my hands.
What do I do with my hands? Hey, if you're with us, please put in the chat that you're with us. I'm thinking we might be having some weather issues. Pretty loud boom sound earlier. And Brandon got soaking wet out in the rain. So.
Got the computer block. I mean, probably, it's kind of dried up now.
It's dried up pretty good. You got a little wet on the shoulder there.
I pulled up right when it started pouring down raining.
Yeah, all you could hear was, it was pretty loud.
And the problem is I wasn't early, so it wasn't like I could wait in my truck until it started raining.
Right.
So
I tell you, man, we've had some pretty intense storms over the past couple of days or so.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife on the way up here. I said, April showers have been real this year.
You got that right.
It has rained every day in April.
What's the next part of it? April showers brings May flowers?
That's it.
So we ought to have some flowers coming up, man.
Lots of them.
You got the old Facebook pulled up over there.
I do.
And the website. I'm trying to pull up YouTube, but YouTube ain't working.
I mean, y'all might have to bear with me. I'm not a Facebook guy, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So, hey, if you are with us, go ahead, put in the chat, do all the things. So, Brandon and I were texting back and forth yesterday in the group chat, but you were the only one in the group chat texting back. So thank you for that.
Darren's on vacation. Congratulations to Cody. Cody just had a new baby on Thursday, so I get it. I get it.
I understand.
And Megan never talks to us.
Yeah, Megan chimes in when necessary. Kind of like the phone call last week to get us back on topic. And then we ignored Brandon's phone call. Which
we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah, it backfired on me big time. So listen, who doesn't like a good comeback story? Not sorry, but we use a lot of sports references on this show.
It's who we are.
Yeah, it is. But there's nothing like a good comeback story. And man, I had some notes pulled up. Dude, I hope I didn't. I think I deleted it. Oh boy, go me,
Darren. You at least got to work on Wednesdays during your vacation for an hour.
Let's see if I can find.
Carly don't even know what to do anymore.
Darren is definitely spoiled me. Here, I'll just pull up the website of what I had. So this is the biggest comebacks in March Madness history. All right, you ready for this? There's some that still sting a little bit for me. So in 2012, we had BYU 78 over Iona. Is that how you say it? Iona,
Right?
72.
Know. That's what I say.
The deficit there was 25 points.
Wow.
And that was in round one.
Wow.
Then we have in 2001, I remember this one. This was an amazing game to watch. 2001.
That's back when people didn't upset people either.
This was Duke 95 over Maryland 84. It was a 22-point comeback. I remember watching that game.
And ended up winning by, what'd you say, 10?
Yeah, 95 to 84, 11.
11.
So then we have in 2018, and that was in the Final Four. So it made it even more crazy. Talk about madness. And then 2018, round 2, Nevada. Is it Nevada or Nevada? Is it potato or patata? Tomato, tomato.
Hey, you know, we should ask Jody that. She's from Nevada.
Nevada. That's what so it was Nevada 75, Cincinnati 73. It was a 22-point deficit, and that was in round 2. 2018, I remember this one, Louisville 93, West Virginia 85. It was a 20-point deficit.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that was a good game. That was madness. 2015, this was the first 4, so not a huge upset or anything, but Ole Miss 94, BYU 90. It was a 17-point deficit that Ole Miss overcame. 2006, I remember this, Sweet 16, UCLA 73, Gonzaga 71.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a 17-point deficit.
I remember that one.
Western Kentucky, this is 2012. Western Kentucky, this is the first 4, so again, not a huge upset. And these aren't names you hear in the tournament a whole lot. Western Kentucky 59, Mississippi Valley State 58, a 16-point deficit in 2012.
Mississippi Valley State. Randy Moss, right? Didn't he go to Mississippi Valley State?
So this is the one that still stings to me. Kansas 72, North Carolina 69 in the championship 2022, 16-point deficit. That one.
What?
It was at the buzzer,
That was
too.
the dagger 3 at the buzzer,
at
right?
the buzzer,
that
man.
was insane. I remember
Yeah, that was...
I remember watching that and saw it go up, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
That one heartbreaker.
I don't like either of those teams, man, but I was hyped for that game.
I like UNC. They're probably like my number 2, number 3 team. But yeah, that one. That's probably one of the wildest games I've ever watched. That one, I know the deficit is only 15, but that one should be like the upset.
I mean, if you're in the national championship game and you get up 15, you should win that game.
True statement.
You should win that game.
This one is another good one, and you know, I didn't realize that Loyola, Chicago. You know,
We're gonna talk about that.
Now this is actually this is what blew my mind. 1963.
Oh,
in the championship, they overcame a 15-point deficit against Cincinnati to win 60-58. I thought they just recently got in the tournament.
Me too.
I thought it was Cinderella story and they had never been there. But 1963 in the championship game, they won it.
I bet Sister Jean was there.
She probably was. That's probably what started the trend of her being at every game she could be at. And then 2005 regional final, I remember this one as well. Illinois 90, Arizona 89. It was a 15-point deficit that they overcame. So we all like a good comeback story, but there is one comeback story like no other. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining us for Midweek Motivation. Real conversations with real people about a very real God. Do all the things, like, subscribe, follow, click the bell, text motivate. Did I get it on the bottom of the screen? Yeah.
Yeah, that's up there.
Text motivate to 540-900-3838 and let us know in the chat that you are here. We got anybody in the chat?
Cody's watching.
Let's go, Cody. Probably holding a baby.
Yeah. Looks like we got Susan Miller.
Oh, yeah.
She also said, if you haven't already, be sure to check your email. I don't know what that's about.
Yes, I did. I think I did see an email come through. I hadn't looked at it yet, but I think I did see it come through when I was coming up here to set up. Just so you guys
We got
know,
Benny, Michelle, and the Jets.
That was great. Let me see if I can show you guys. So we have this neat little device here, and it's got all these pre-programmed buttons on it that we just press one button, and it does all the things. Those buttons aren't working today, and that was why Brandon started the show without me. And it's weird. Like there's like 10 steps in each button. So I'm over there. I'm like, okay, I did that, and then I hear you talking, but it's not coming through. And I'm like, oh, got to do that, and then got to do that, and then I finally came back over here. So I apologize in advance for that. I think it's partly the internet here due to the weather. So, all right. Here's your moment to get back at me, Brandon. Bracket challenge update. So I had a little bit of my math wrong last week. I mean, you were still in bad shape last week.
And let's be clear, I'm still in bad shape now. Let's not get that wrong.
So here I went back and looked. There are 56 entries in our bracket challenge. 10 of those have no bracket. This is in the men's side, all right? I'm in a two-way tie for 40th. Darren's in a two-way tie for 38th. And Brandon is in a two-way tie for 34th. So I gave you all that grief last week, and now I think John Brunk actually somebody texted me and they were like, "You're below Brandon now."
I was dealing with some unforeseen work situations last week, and that's why I wasn't here, right? And in the midst of all this, I had forgotten John Brunk had made our hats. I'm wearing one now. Shout out to John Brunk. But I was like, oh, man, I forgot I got to go meet John Brunk. So I had to leave a meeting with my wife there and rush over and meet him. So I pull up, and he's like, hey, man, are you listening to Midweek? And I'm like, no, I've been in a meeting and stuff all day. He's like, Carly's talking trash about your bracket. And I was like, all right. So I jumped back, threw the hats in the car, jumped back in the car, and that's when I tried to call to try to get in on my way back. And
yeah, so
y'all ignored my call.
Well, so what happened is after Megan called, Darren put his phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh.
I asked him later, I was like, Brandon said he tried calling. He was like, yeah, I saw afterwards. I had put my phone on Do Not Disturb after Megan called.
So I called Carly, and I guess in the middle of the show, Carly texted me and was like, hey, call Darren. I called Darren and went straight to voicemail. I'm like, these guys trying to avoid me because they're talking trash about me. And then I start looking the very next day, I jump ahead of both of them.
Right. It was a little embarrassing. So, and right now, the outright leader of the men's bracket is Todd Booth with 86 points and 64 points remaining. So let me put this in perspective.
That's
all right?
impressive.
86 points scored, 64 points remaining. I have 52 points with 0 points remaining.
I think I've got,
64 points left. 64 points.
And like 16, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. So
I stopped watching it.
Listen, this is not
bracket.
This is not one of those comeback stories for me, man. There's no coming back for me.
We've got a family one, and my brother-in-law is actually ranked like 125,000th in ESPN, which is like
that's
100
impressive.
million brackets.
That's impressive, man. All right, so we also have the women's challenge. There's 15 entries in the women's challenge. Brandon is in a two-way tie for 11th. I am alone at 6th, and the outright leader is whoever that is.
I was wondering that.
I thought
maybe you knew.
Ra, if you are on, let us know that you are the one in that challenge. So here's the thing that hurt me. I did not have NC State. So NC State men and women are both in the Final Four. That's pretty awesome. I didn't have them going, and I didn't have Iowa going. I had LSU beating Iowa.
I think I had LSU, or not, no, I'm sorry, Iowa, because I've got them winning it all. South Carolina, Virginia Tech. I don't remember who my fourth one was.
Yeah, I had UConn, South Carolina, LSU.
Maybe it was UConn. I can't remember.
Can't remember who the other one was.
Dude, I've enjoyed the women's games.
That's been some
much
good basketball.
more.
I still have South Carolina. I think they're going to win it 79-72, whoever they play.
That's funny. I've got Iowa over South Carolina.
Yeah.
78-72, I believe, something like that.
Nice. I tell you what, man, that Caitlin, golly, she's the real deal.
I will say I don't feel bad about 11 out of 15th this year because I'm the defending champion in the women's bracket. So
okay. All right. Well,
I had to give somebody else a shot in that one.
You got it coming for you. Hey, this episode is unofficially sponsored by Reese Eggs and Walmart. You can go to Walmart right now. At least yesterday you could, and they had a ton of them, 50% off. So
you sent either to me or one of our group text messages that were in saying like, "Hey, Reese Eggs, 50% off."
Yeah, man. So I got a couple of packs of those, and I gave Brandon one. That is the best.
Couple packs. I got one.
So here's what happened. I was eating one, and I was like, oh, I should give Brandon one. And so I got me another one and got Brandon one.
I'm going to make sure I take that thing with me. You're going to eat it.
I will.
You won't save it for me.
Nope. If it sits right there, it's going to be gone. All right. So here's some awesome news, man. I know you guys are like, man, let's just shut up talking and get to the conversation. But I got to share this here.
Oh, man. This
Sunday. Holy moly. 50 salvations.
Wow.
With 2 of those being online, 50 salvations. I hope I'm okay in sharing this. I don't think Pastor would mind. But due to the timing of everything, we had to push the start time for second hour back because there was a line of cars to get up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the overlook room looking out, like just kind of watching it, and we started the countdown for second service at 10:40, and service started at 10:45. 15 minutes later than usual. And Pastor told us yesterday, he said, I almost, for sake of time, did not go after salvation second hour.
That
30,
was,
I think it was 34 second hour.
well, here's the thing. I was in second hour, and he said he counted 34. But I'm almost positive there was more than 34 up at that stage. By
I got
the
a
end
picture.
Of it.
I need to go look at the picture. And
I would bet money on it that there was more than 34 at the end of that.
so it gets even better than
He was
that.
talking and people were still just walking
Yeah.
up, man. It was beautiful.
It gets better than that, all right? Most people don't know this. So we practice on Tuesdays for worship.
Uh-huh.
Before we started our worship practice this past Tuesday, the Tuesday before Easter, Dustin had everybody line the altar and turn around and face the congregation. And he said, you see these seats, be praying over them. Afterwards, Marshall said, and there was like 40 of us lining the altar. Marshall said, how amazing would it be if this is how it looked Sunday?
It did. It was one of the coolest. I mean, I had some teardrops rolling down my eyes, man. It was one of the coolest. I do every time we do salvation and people go up, even if it's 1 or 2. But I don't know. It hit different Sunday seeing all those people. And, sometimes when we do the salvations, people are a little scared or nervous to go up front and be the first one. I mean, that was because usually that process is like
everywhere, man.
5 minutes to get everybody up there because they're like, should I go? Should I not go? But this past Sunday, it was like a flood. It was like God opened the floodgates and everybody just flooded to the front. It was beautiful.
So, even better. But wait, there's more. 464 kids were here for our Sunday services. 464. I'm pretty sure Dustin said that was the largest kids attendance in the history. Like, it was a record-breaking Sunday all over. And this doesn't even account for all those who showed up for the Easter egg hunt.
You can give away the total number there?
I'm not going to give the total number, but I'm going to give a roundabout number. We had over 2,000 people here for services.
I've heard a couple different numbers, so I'm not going to.
It was knocking on the door of 2,200.
Yeah.
A huge Sunday here, and this isn't patting Parkway on the back. Don't get me wrong.
No, we're patting Jesus Christ on the back.
There were thousands more here for the Easter egg hunt. God is doing some amazing things in the valley. I had a chance to talk to several other pastors in the community who their attendance in their services doubled, and life change was happening all over. And here's the cool thing. Here's the sermon points, and this is so good, and it kind of ties into today's message or today's topic. The sermon points from this past Sunday was Jesus can touch our failures, our fractures, and our fears. Life change happened in churches all over. Life change happened here. And life change happens when we give God our failures, our fractures, and our fears. And speaking of life change, one of my favorite things is taking place this Sunday.
Baptisms?
Yes.
Man,
you already knew it. Baptisms this week. We have a baptism class tonight. So if you're interested in being baptized, we have a baptism class tonight in the Welcome Center. I don't remember the time.
Probably 6.
6-ish. Look for Cassidy. Go to the Welcome Center. right now we have 8 people being baptized Sunday,
Awesome.
4 in both hours. And with these 8, in the last year, we will have baptized 65 people. God is good
All the time.
all the time.
God is good.
Let's go. So we also have New Friends Party this Sunday. We want you to be there. If you have not attended a New Friends Party, it really is a party. Come enjoy some great food, meet the staff, hang out with us, take a tour of the building, and then Equip. If you're an online specific person, that's for you as well. Equip begins April 10th. It'll be online and in person. I encourage you, if you can do it in person, do it in person. And the way we do it, and we do it live online. You can go back and watch it if you absolutely have to, but we strongly encourage doing Equip live. So, the comeback.
The comeback.
The comeback. When I think about comeback stories, I almost always think about sports.
Always.
I shared a bunch of the comebacks a few moments ago. For some reason, my mind instantly goes to sports, but there's a lot of comeback stories in the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
You got David.
Job.
Yeah. Moses.
Jonah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. That's
Jonah.
a good one. Yeah.
We're actually getting ready to do a study on Jonah in our Sunday Life group. The after
That'll
party.
be cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And there's a really good, we were just going to go like verse by verse, scripture by scripture kind of deal. There's a really good study on Right Now Media that was just released by David Platt.
Yeah. Dude,
It's good.
we give Right Now Media to all the members of the
Yep.
church, right? If
you
you
get it for
guys aren't
free.
using that, you are missing
Go to
out.
parkwayroanoke.com/rightnow. It's a free resource. Well, we pay for it for you. It's our gift to you. It's free to you. There's family shows. There's Bible studies. If you aren't using that, you are missing out. So thank you
It
for that,
is,
Brandon.
man. It's such a cool thing. As a life group leader, they have stuff on there for life group leaders
Yeah.
to help teach you how to,
Yep, trainings,
you know,
all kinds
of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, personal, studies. It's super
Yeah.
cool.
We
I love
even
it.
we even used Right Now Media. I loaded, so we have Freedom Group now.
Yeah.
And I loaded all of our training material on that.
Yeah.
And they can go through and access that.
And it's pretty cool. They've reached out to me a couple times to be involved in a couple of their discussion meetings
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I love it.
I've done that a few times. It's pretty cool.
Yep. So we have all these comeback stories. The Hebrew boys in the fire. Talk about a comeback story there.
That's a good
I
one.
like that.
Yeah.
There's one comeback
The
story.
Hebrew boys.
I don't know why I put it like that, man.
I love it.
Shadrach,
Meshach and Abednego. Abednego.
Yes, the Hebrew boys.
Yeah.
See, that's why I did it. All right, so there's one comeback story that's greater than all the other comeback stories. And I just want to read Mark 9:31. He said to them, "The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into the hands of his enemies. He will be killed, but 3 days later, he's coming back."
Let's go.
3 days later, the comeback is on. We just celebrated that comeback this past Sunday, and we shared all those stats with you guys. But you want to know what's even better? That still isn't the greatest comeback.
Nope.
It's a good one, a very good one, but it ain't the greatest comeback. And we're gonna hit that in just a minute. But let's talk sports. We were talking a little bit before the show. Not sorry. There's a bit of a comeback story, Cinderella story, however you want to do it, happening in the men's tournament. NC State is doing something special.
It's been cool to see.
It's been fun to watch, especially big man
Burns
DJ
Jr.
Burns Jr.
Yeah.
He is something special
It
to
just
watch.
looks like he's having so much fun out there.
Exactly.
It is so cool.
It's such a joy
It is.
to watch him just play some ball. And like I said earlier, NC State men's and women's are both in the Final Four. That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, well, the women's were expected to be in the tournament. They've got
men's-
3 seeds,
3
6
seed.
seeds, something?
And the men's is an 11 seed.
Yeah, but NC State wasn't on anybody's radar. Coming up to
Nobody.
Selection Sunday, I do the bubble watching. I try to do my homework.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell that I try to do my homework before I fill out my brackets, but I do.
Well, you're doing better than I am now.
But, I mean, NC State's nowhere to be seen.
Right.
They're playing in the first round of the ACC tournament.
And it ain't
Like-
supposed to be good.
So, I mean, they had to come together and say, look, we're a good team.
Yeah.
But the only way we can get to this tournament is we've got to run through 5 teams.
Some really good teams.
in 5 days.
And some teams they had already lost to.
Right.
Let's just walk through this for a minute.
And
All right,
before you go to that, too,
Go for it.
they had lost 7 of 9 games before the ACC tournament.
Yep. Check this out. So this is kind of their season in a nutshell. So they started their season against the team that I played for in college, University of Mount Olive, which kicked off a 5-game win streak for them. And then later on in the season, they lose to number 12 Tennessee, number 7 UNC, unranked Virginia Tech, unranked UVA in overtime. That was a pretty good game to watch. Unranked Syracuse. Virginia Tech, UVA, and Syracuse were all back-to-back losses. Then they lose to unranked Pitt and Wake. And then Syracuse again, who is still unranked. Then they rode a 4-game losing streak into the ACC tournament with losses to Florida State, UNC, Duke, and Pitt. And then in the ACC tournament, they had their backs against the wall. And they beat Louisville, Syracuse, who they had lost to, twice. They beat Duke, who they had lost to. They beat UVA, who they had lost
With
to.
a bank shot, that still hurts.
Yeah.
That still hurts.
Yeah. And then they beat UNC, who they had lost to, in a span of 5 days. 5 games in 5 days, 5 wins against 5 really, really good teams.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there.
No. See, I had them, I think, when I was filling out my bracket, I was like, man, NC State just had this incredible run through the ACC. I was like, ain't no way they got anything
Well,
left.
that was my thought. I was like, dude, they're exhausted. They're
Yeah.
tired. 5 games, and they fought their way to the victories in those games.
It wasn't easy on any of them.
And I'm like, these guys are
The
exhausted.
Virginia game was overtime, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm like, these guys are exhausted. There is no way they're making it past the first round. Well, then they beat Texas Tech,
good team.
Oakland in overtime, which I thought was going to be the death of them. I thought if they win, they're out next week.
Yeah.
Nope. Beat Marquette.
Who's a really good
Really
basketball
good.
team.
A lot of people had Marquette projected to win.
Yeah.
Then they go on and beat Duke again to advance to the Final Four.
Yeah. Tell them what you told me last night. I loved it.
They beat the Devil twice.
Yes.
Yeah, I texted Brandon, I was like, they beat the Devil twice, and then I sent him like a praise dance emoji thing.
And I sent one back that was just a guy and his head just exploded. And I was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so that's wild. In a span of 16 days, NC State played 9 games and beat 5 top 25 teams.
Not on anybody's radar.
Nope.
And one of the 4 teams left standing.
What a ride. What a comeback. To ride that losing streak against it was all ACC teams.
All ACC teams.
And then to come in and win the ACC tournament, beating those teams that they had lost to prior to it. Man.
And you had teams like Duke and North Carolina who people had very much projected. If they would have won, you would have been like, I can see that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's been hard not to pull for NC State.
I'm pulling for them.
I am too, man.
As soon as they made it to the Sweet 16, I was like, all right.
They're just a fun team to watch. And here's the other thing, like, and we're getting ready to really hit the closing to the topic. This isn't a sports talk show. Okay, maybe a little bit. Here's the crazy thing. Like, in most of those games, the other DJ Horn, their leading scorer, their best player, wasn't scoring.
Right.
Wasn't having good games. But the group come around, work together, and lifted them up.
That's a team. I love it.
That's why we push small groups here.
Yeah.
That's why you're a small group leader. That's why I'm a small group leader. That's why we continue to develop leaders, because we know the importance of when one of our people is down, the rest of us need to step up and help them up. And that's what NC State has done.
Yeah.
When someone has fouled out, someone else has stepped up.
It's been cool.
Yeah, it's been so
fun.
fun. Hannah just texted and said dad joke. I guess she was talking about the devil joke. It works.
I'm a dad too,
Whatever.
and it made me laugh.
Get back to work, Hannah. So here's the thing. You're probably like, man,
Look,
why?
they beat the devil twice. Too funny.
Yeah, see, it works.
Thanks, Leslie.
Some of you guys. Here's the thing. Some of you guys, you've been on a losing streak, and it's time for a comeback. So, some of us, maybe we've been on a stretch of wins, and some of those wins have come in overtime, and we're tired.
Yeah.
And you're ready to just be done. You're ready to hang it up. You're ready to quit. Don't. The comeback is on. Jesus didn't go to the cross just to check it off, check a box off, and say, hey, it was prophesied that I was going to do this, so let me
check the box.
I did it. No, he didn't just check a box and then move to the next part of the bracket. He didn't get that sticker and stick it to the next spot just to make it to a championship. No, he defeated death. He defeated hell. He defeated the grave with his first comeback. But that's got nothing on his second comeback.
Let's go. Come on.
His first comeback prepared us for the second comeback, in which we get to be with him. Look what he said in John 14, verses 1 through 3. He said, don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust also in me. There is more than enough room in my Father's home. If this were not so, would I have told you that I'm going to prepare a place for you? And when everything is ready, the second comeback, I will come and I will get you so that you will always be with me where I am.
Let's go.
The first comeback was just a setup.
Yeah.
But that second comeback.
It's like the teaser we do at the beginning of the show.
Right.
You think this is good.
That second comeback is the real victory.
Yeah.
And we already have it. So whether you're in a setback right now, whether you're in a losing streak, whatever you're facing right now, don't give up. Jesus came back once, and he's coming back again.
He's going to do it again.
He already gave us the victory. Just trust him. He said, trust in God and trust also in me.
Yeah.
There's enough room in the Father's house.
Sunday's coming.
Sunday's coming. So here's a challenge, and then we'll kind of highlight some of the stuff that's in the chat and ramble a little bit. Here's the challenges that I have for you guys. Let his comeback story be your comeback story. Let his comeback story be your victory, because that's what it is. Don't give up. Scripture tells us you will face trials. You will face hardships. You will go through seasons that are not easy. But take heart. I am with you. Take heart. I've overcome the grave.
Man, that's good stuff.
It is.
That's so good.
It is. And then the second challenge I have for you. He came back so that we can come back. He came back so that we can come back.
It's like, I don't know, I kind of, going back to sports, it's like, you know how a team they make a good shot, and then the crowd starts to get a little hyped up, and then they make another shot, and they're going crazy, and the team feeds off of that.
Yep.
Like,
I
feel like that's what we need to do, especially like this past Sunday when 34 people make a life-changing commitment.
Yeah.
I think we need to be those soldiers that are out there and just, you see one, you get hyped up.
Well, you think about it. After salvations, Pastor always, he doesn't have to, but he's always like, even the angels rejoice when one has come home. But second service, he couldn't even get to that. Everybody was already cheering. People was hyping up. And I think, I can't prove this, but I think some of that, when those first 4 or 5 started coming, the cheers started coming through. And then I think other people were like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want to feed off of that.
I want to be a part of that.
Yeah. They kept coming. I want to be a part of this family. I want to be a part of this team. I want to be a part of this group. And it just kept coming. They kept coming. They kept coming because they realized in that moment that the victory was theirs.
Yeah.
They were locked in.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when players become free agents and, they're always going to Los Angeles or they're going to New York or they're going to Chicago and places like that. That's because they've been to those places.
Yep.
And they've seen the type of, I don't know the word, the type of support they get from their fans and their community.
Yeah.
And when they become a free agent, they're like, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that.
I love it, man.
I think you're right on with that part of it. I don't even know what to say about Sunday, man.
Dude,
It was so cool.
it was overwhelming. And, you know, at the end, I was talking about Pastor how, you know, normally he'll say along the lines of, even when one comes, the angels rejoice. Man, when he went to say that, he broke down and just began weeping.
I was already weeping.
Right?
I mean,
Like,
it was.
golly, what a moment, man. And here's the thing. Whatever you're facing online, you can come back to. You can come back. I mean, you think about the prodigal son. Dude, he was in the pig pen. And when he came home, this is one thing that blows my mind, not to go off on a whole nother tangent. But here's the thing that blows my mind about that story of the prodigal son. And this is where a lot of times I think the church messes up. And thank God we're not one of those. When the son was coming home, the father ran to him and hugged him. He wasn't worried about how he smelt, how he looked, how dirty he was, where he had been, what he had done before he got there. All he knew is, my child has come home.
Yeah. We've talked about this before, and in my mind, you know, the Bible doesn't say it, but in my mind, he went straight from the pig pen home.
Yep.
So imagine yourself laying in a pig pen and going trying to hug somebody. Most people going to tell you, hey,
go shower, go wash, go get cleaned up.
Good to see you, buddy, but, you know, hit the showers first.
I'm so excited you're home. Bathroom, third door on the left.
It still works.
Yes. You probably remember where it's at.
That's how I imagine it when I hear the father ran to the son. It's just filthy, dirty, nasty.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been there. We've had kids, you know, fall down and they've got blood coming out of them. You didn't even think twice. You go up, scoop them up.
Yeah.
You know, same thing.
Yeah. Yep. But the father came running.
Yeah.
So I just want to say to you, come back, run back.
It don't matter how you smell.
And even when
how dirty you are.
Even when you can't come back and you can't run back, just turn around. The Father's running to you. He's right there.
You a preacher?
That ain't even in the notes.
That was good.
That one's free. We won't charge you for that one. Listen, here's the motivation that I want you to get. The comeback is on. You just got to make the choice. Today, start your journey back. There may be some overtimes in your story. There may be some losses, but get back up. Keep pressing through.
And I'll tell you, the stats that you put up earlier about, you know, teams coming back from 16 down, 22 down, 25 down, that all started with one shot.
One shot.
You know, so.
One shot.
You might think you're too far gone, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and let me say
got to start.
Let me say this. You may get on a winning streak and lose one. That's one loss. Keep winning. Keep getting back up. I read something the other day, and I don't know, it might not make any sense, but it just hit me. I want to say it was a T-shirt, and it said, I failed 9 times, but I got up 10.
Somebody already put that on a T-shirt. Shout out to Cody. Yeah.
That thing just hit me.
Well, I mean, that takes me back to hearing that is, you know, Edison with the light bulb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, he tried 294 times, right, to make a light bulb. And somebody asked him about the failures. He's like, I didn't fail. I just figured out 293 ways not to make a light bulb.
See,
you know,
man.
it goes along those lines.
What's the Michael
man.
Jordan stat, you know, where they talk about how many shots he made or whatever, and he quotes how many he missed.
Yeah.
I can't remember the number.
I can't remember either. But he knows it.
Yeah. He figured out how to make shots by missing shots.
Right. That's how you do it.
Yeah. You figure out how to make it by sometimes missing. And I'm not saying like go and mess up on purpose so that hopefully you can get your life right. What I'm saying is when you mess up, understand that you're not a mess up. When you fall, understand that you're not a failure. Keep getting back up. It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way.
Yeah. Heather says I was in that pig pen, and God truly embraces and turns you around. He will get you cleaned up.
Man.
Just go home.
Just go home. The comeback is on. I love it.
Sunday's coming.
Sunday's coming. Man, this has been good.
It is.
Who needs Darren and Cody?
Yeah.
I love you guys.
That's only because Cody ain't here.
Yeah. I kind of want to put that on a shirt. There's probably one out there, but I feel...
What, because Cody ain't here?
No, man. Sorry, I was jumping back to the I fell 9 times but got up 10. That's good stuff. Hey, thank you guys. Maybe somebody's on a losing streak right now. Maybe they just need to see that one basket go in so you can start to come back. Maybe that's your job. Encourage somebody today. Share this with somebody. Help somebody on their comeback. And I said already, we have a couple of next steps for you. The first and most important step for you is to get that number one relationship right. Come back home. The Father is waiting on you. He's there. Going to throw a party for you. And then get baptized. Baptism's this Sunday. Baptism class tonight. And speaking of party, we're going to party Sunday. New friends party. We want you to join us. We always have a good time. Have a lot of fun. We joke. We eat. We give you some free gifts. And, yeah, come be a part of that. So, any final thoughts?
I've been here a little over 10 years. I've never been to a new friends party.
Well, come.
I think that started after I was already a member here.
Well, let me say this, and I'm not saying this just to you. If you've never been to a new friends party, come. Come to it. We'd be fine with that as a staff. We don't want anybody missing out because we want you to experience the new friends party so that then you cheer other people on like you gotta go,
bro. You'd look at me and be like, "That's the one and only time you're allowed to come here." You eat too much food.
We'll talk about that after we cut the show. Hey, listen, we are like out of time, so I just looked up and man, time just goes by. Listen, text motivate to 540-900-3838. Let's continue the encouragement going. Share this with someone who needs some motivation or encouragement. And thank you guys again for joining us for another awesome episode of Midweek Motivation, real conversations with real people about a very real God. Man, stay motivated. I don't have a button to press to actually end the show today.
So run over there and end it, and I'll finish talking to them.
You do it, man.
Yeah. And if you need any help staying motivated, always text us at the number on the screen, 540-900-3838. You guys have a blessed rest of your week, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday. That was smooth, dude. I know. As soon as I